the Broodmother is great as well. So here we go, baby. It is game number 1 here of Entity versus GAIMIN Gladiators. The Riyadh playoffs have not disappointed at all so far, so let's just jump into this as the first web comes out into the mid lane, taking advantage of the necrotic webs facet, one of our favorite things that we've been seeing. And a lot of times he's going to make the move to the enemy, or I guess normally it's carry brood, so you would make the move to the enemy carry lane. But do you think you make the second web in the off lane?
Doesn't seem like he cares to do it right now. We've seen some people do it, like a web in each lane, and you just keep moving around your one web in your lane until you hit level 2 in the webs. I wonder, maybe he just doesn't think it's worth it, either because Darkseer might be left alone a lot and it's just not worth bothering trying to fight out that regen game, or he feels like he needs the extra movement in his lane without having to reposition the webs a whole ton. Because not every Broodmother does it. I've seen it a couple people will do it, and I think it's cool, but I don't know how value it is.
4 runes, the post
good
rune,
luck, have fun
from Celery. Hey guys, nice job. Boomers, you can't click runes. Oh my lord. Well, quick gold lead already for GAIMIN Gladiators. I mean, it is not the end of the world, right? But it does make a huge difference in terms of those first set of courier items coming out. They have a good deep ward placed on the bottom here from Tofu. Be able to get some couriers with that.
No, 4 is pretty good, man. 4 is pretty good. Like, I don't think bounty runes are typically worth dying over, especially if you can just let it go. Like 3 to 1 is whatever, but 4 is kind of bad.
Yeah,
you're right. It's not the end of the world, but it's you're on a back foot. Like, just to talk it out, right? There's a lot of cheap items that are really impactful in the lane, like sentries to block and unblock camps, blood grenades, the extra stats when you live by 10 health, right? A tango or a salve early, stuff like that. And one side just got 160 gold and the other didn't, which means you could buy those cheap items and make a difference while the other team is still just passively, it takes a minute and a half to passively get that gold.
Yeah, it does. I was the big thing is for supports, I think, like you're saying, right? Getting the sentries for blocking and unblocking, an extra set of tangos, maybe a stick, all of that adds up for sure in the lane. Doracchio's courier. Oh no. Katomi off to his courier shenanigans again, even when he's not playing the Monkey King.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on this Spirit Breaker, since this is a bit of a rough lane and you see them creep dragging to avoid it as such. But he'll eventually start roaming around, and I'm curious to see what he can get done. Pango's not the easiest hero to gank, although no one's doing a great job at the start to build an early lead.
That's some sick courier micro and movement from Fishman in the bottom lane there, to not only hide his courier, but then to walk back to it. And obviously Weaver would love to make the play for it, but then he gives up his ward immediately if he does. So yeah, cool stuff from him. Overall, CS in these lanes looking fairly good. GAIMIN Gladiators with a slight advantage at the moment, which, like you said, partly because they want to dodge the really hard off lane, right? So they're just going to try and farm safely here on DM. As they're going to get aggressive now right away with the help of the Jakiro. Level 3 on the CK, just laying in some auto attacks. I mean, this is the Jakiro effect. It's not even just Chaos Knight. It's the fact that Jakiro's just sustained damage between the Liquid Frost and Dual Breath can push out any hero, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 100 extra damage, just from Dual Breath, because Dual Breath has 10 ticks of damage. So with the Liquid Frost compared to Liquid Fire at level 2, you're doing 100 more damage if you commit that full combo. So when you have someone like Chaos Knight, who is a pretty burst-heavy hero, then you actually threaten kills. Ooh, that's a good courier kill.
Yeah, Tofu actually gets it this time. Pango and Snapfire actually having a pretty good lane mid. Snapfire a little bit ahead at the moment, which shouldn't be too surprising thanks to Scatterblast just being such a good last hitting tool. And then just, oh, Quinn just barely off the mark there with the shield crash. And now needs to be a little bit careful as there's a TP coming in. Spirit Breaker with the charge, the minus armor stacking up, and he's got an Ion Shell. Oh no! The first blood going to Katomi, and Quinn punished for his overextension.
Radiant are scanning.
He wanted that solo kill. He was close to getting no one pretty low. But, like you said, going too far. Spirit Breaker gets a kill, gets some assist. I guess Darkseer got some too, actually, for he's having a rough time, so he gets a little bit of a, gets an assist in his,
I'm
kill score
helping! Just throw the Ion. It's like when you ink swell your ally on the TP, right? This time it's the Ion Shell. Surged away there on Katomi, taking a... this top lane, like, you cannot do anything to this Chaos Knight. He will just free farm. I thought the Morphling lane was going to go better, but my lord, Ace is absolutely crushing this lane. It is 25 and 15 to 12, and Tofu is going to get another courier, and this time it's Watson's pair of boots.
I didn't think this would be so one-sided.
He's going to get another one. His ward expired, but he knows the courier's here, and that's got...
There's so much on that courier.
He got it delivered.
Time.
Oh my goodness. That's like Fishman's entire net worth on that courier, outside of literally 200
That's
gold.
true.
Like... oh, he's like, ward's over here, right? Oh no. Oh, the ward just expired, my guy. Oh,
now there's a ward there.
dude,
I think you should see it. I think that
hurts.
sentry is still. I think that sentry is still within the 12 seconds that it gives ground vision.
Do you think so?
He won't be able to deward it now, but
he has
should
a
be able to
flying courier
later.
in a little bit, right? He gets it at level 3, so he might be able to send it over.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten pretty lucky with that.
Quinn, mid lane, in trouble. Mortimer Kisses are out. The level 6 of the Snapfire already paying off is now Katomi looking to help chase Celery behind the tower. It's just a double kill for no one. The Snapfire off to a fantastic start. 500 gold and 1400 damage. I mean, that's just the pressure that Snapfire mid has, and it was already winning the lane. I think that's why maybe Quinn made that aggressive attempt earlier, knowing like he's like, I gotta beat her to level 6. Doesn't quite end up happening, and then they just bring quick rotation from the Spirit Breaker. Very nice.
Yeah, that's the snowball effect. That first death is what put him behind in XP further to allow that kill. If he had rolled, then he'd be fine there. This is important for Entity because their side lanes are not going well. So you need someone to play around with. Looks like it's going to be no one. I like that he's got the Atos queued up first. That'll help him be a little bit more active. He's actually popping this haste rune to put more pressure on Quinn. And he'll need to... I don't know. Killing Brood will be really tough because she actually went double Bracer Soul Ring, which is part of why she's winning this lane. But it also means she's super hard to kill, already at 1200 health and then fast on the webs. But I mean, you got like the Sven stun, the Spirit Breaker stuns, so it should be possible if you want to go there. But I do think it's important, like 30 seconds before Mortimer's kisses up, you probably see another mid-fight for the rune. If you have to use it there, then that's fine. But if you can get the rune without using the ult, then I think it's really important to go to one of these side lanes and start trying to change it.
I absolutely agree. I think you got to look to use the next Mortimer Kisses on a side lane. It's going to make such an impact for whoever's lane you gank. He did end up getting that D ward, as our observer pointed out, so thank you very much. But Ace, level 6 on the Brood, the tower is not going to last very long, and you can already see the Morphling has just left. He's like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to farm jungle. I've accepted my tower is not going to survive any longer. Quinn actually getting an illusion rune here in the mid lane. That's big, actually. Just taking the power rune for free when his team is not there, and you're taking the offlane tower. This is the best scenario here for GAIMIN Gladiators because you're already opening up the map, and even though your mid lane's going exceptionally well here for Entity, The Broodmother now is a major threat because she will web through the whole jungle. She can make quick rotations into mid, but hold on, Quinn in trouble. Rolling Thunder gonna come through. He's gonna be able to close the gap here onto no one, but they're just gonna maybe settle for Fishman. The Rolling Thunder doing a lot of work, but he pops the Illusioner trying to get out. Katomi with the charge, he gets a barrier. It's gonna be enough with the slow as well. They don't finish off the Sven. They don't get anybody. It's just the Jakiro that dies.
I think Lil Shredder was just a little bit off cooldown, and then the barrier that Pango got from the shield crash helping to keep him alive there. I guess you still get a kill though. All the kills going for the side of Entity, and again putting no one, right? No one in the supports are getting something out of this, while the other cores are just trying to catch up. So at least the heroes that need to get something done right now are involved. He actually did switch over to a Maelstrom. Maybe he's like looking at the side like, all right, I'm gonna have to carry this one. I'm gonna need a little bit more gold and farm for myself. They're gonna run into no one on this smoke gank in the triangle. There's no roll though, so
No.
you could maybe kill a support, but I think no one will be pretty tough.
Really good deep ward place, but here's the thing is like all they're trying to do right now is open the map for the Brood, and that is exactly what he's getting. Ace is finally mid after farming all the way through the jungle, and your mid tower now under pressure. You don't have Mortimer Kisses. All right, another strike is out. Okay, baby. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
He has Lance of Pursuit on no one. I don't know which way the Brood was facing, but
He was facing
I
backwards.
suppose. Okay, yeah, so that's like an extra 120 damage. That's kind of cool. That Brood got melted. We were saying maybe didn't have damage. Clearly they have the damage. I was wrong.
I mean, I'm surprised that he just kind of face tanked the tower on his own. All right, but looking at the heroes, Weaver can't really be up there either, and Pango is like the counter initiation with Rolling Thunder. So I think after that one, we're gonna see Ace just play for his items, kind of just farm, tank up a little bit. This has been some great space though for the Darkseer, who's almost completely recovered.
Yeah, I think that was also a little unfortunate because Ace was just doing the micro to like send the spiders a little ahead to scout out, and it was like in the middle of those spiders walking out that they got him.
Almost some deja vu here. I mean, just this Stormhammer into Little Shredder is enough to kill almost anybody in the mid lane. Quinn does have a shield rune. The Virtuous Dale, you know, even a salve tossed over from Tofu. They are just giving him everything he needs right now. Just topping himself back off. Duraccio smoked in the triangle. They're going to see Katomi. It's not the best target, but you will take it. Ice Path is out. Even a wall, though, coming up from DM to try and make a little bit of space. And these illusions starting to hit really hard. Another strike out onto the backside, but you've actually got a Rolling Thunder kill onto this Snapfire. Katomi will survive. The Chaos Bolt, not enough either. Duraccio's like, do I fight into my illusions or do I leave? I don't know what's going on here.
So many illusions, actually.
Radiant's middle tower
All right,
is under
you're
attack.
happy with that trade. Weaver for the Snapfire.
Snapfire being dead means mid tower, which is big.
Yeah, and off of this, they might move to steal that Ancient stack as well that they've scouted out. Partly from that movement, partly from that deep ward they have earlier. Well, Snapfire makes it back in time.
They defend.
All right. It lives a little longer. Is there maybe you miss having Liquid Fire a little bit on Jakiro? You're looking at that tower, you're like, that would be dead right now if I had the other facet.
True. Very even game right now. It's 6-1, right? Entity are the ones actually finding kills,
Radiant's top tower
but
is under
you have
attack.
Broodmother and Chaos Knight who have largely been uncontested this game in terms of their ability to farm.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, the Darkseer and the Morphling are slowly catching up, though. They're kind of back
Yeah.
to where they need to be.
Radiant's
And
middle
if we think
tower
about the
has
heroes,
fallen.
this is a little bit expected. Like, Gaming Gladiators did pick strong laning heroes, such as the Chaos Knight and Brood, so they actually sort of need to be a little bit ahead right now. And they're relatively happy, I guess, with where they're at, but I do think they'd like to get something a little bit more done in the early game. Possibly waiting for this Orchid on the Chaos Knight. Let me see, what's I think Ace is working on a pipe. Yeah, he's about like 400 gold from that. So You could line up some of these item timings together, and we'll see if they can get a little bit more done with that. They see Ace.
Tofu is in front of him. He's going to see the charge come through. He's kind of quick, but is it enough distance to get away? I don't think so. The team is there. Time lapse, actually dodging out a decent amount of damage as well as another strike. It does finally connect, though, and DM will finish the job. I mean, there's 5 heroes into their own jungle to get this Weaver, but a good TP, smart rotation from Snapfire to protect their Wisdom Rune.
I think you don't mind too much on Tofu for dying there. It means Ace got out alive because they were looking for Ace.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
The fact that your Weaver died instead. Okay, they do end up getting the D ward, so maybe that's the part you're a little sad about, that you lost your ward and you placed in the enemy jungle. It's going to make it harder to play in there.
I have to imagine Gaming Gladiators know that there's a ward there, or else the charge wouldn't have been able to connect, so they'll probably try to make a move in there into getting a D ward, but for now, I think largely just continuing to farm. Broodmother finishes the pipe quite good, actually. Fastest so far of the patch, so can't really complain there. And that's with even having that death in the mid lane, so you can just see kind of just the specialty that is the Gaming Gladiators Broodmother.
I was going to let Ace finish off this top tower on his own.
There's your Orchid. That's a big one. They're going to find Katomi. Orchid out immediately. The damage should be enough. He's got a decent amount of barrier from the Sven, but the Soul Burn does it as Watson now needs to be a little bit careful. Waveforms down to the low ground. It'll be okay. Good use of that first Orchid.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, looks like they're going to actually pressure the tier 2 pretty early, but there is a catapult here. You do have a Broodmother. I don't think they're expecting to take it right now, but they're just going to get some damage in, and they're just going to try to hold this area. They've now got all the tier 1 towers. This is where you want to start restricting the map away from Entity and start to build up a real lead. Like, yeah, 2k, but it's really not that big of a deal. But if you can hold this much of the map for like another 5 minutes, you'll see that grow to like 7k pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. DM working on his pipe has the mech done. I actually don't know if the ward saw Duraccio there, but he needs to be careful because he doesn't know that he is walking into some very strong heroes. The Stormhammer is going to come out, but he's like, all right, later. I'm just going to go through the portal as farm top. See ya.
Yeah, they're respecting it. He's pretty scary right now. The Orchid and the Armlet.
We've seen this before. Mid lane pipe, though, coming out. Can he get the Rolling Thunder? Quinn, vacuum, the waveform, they got him. Big macro pyre out as the Mortimer Kiss is now raining in. Tofu, he has no mana for the time lapse. Oh, he pops the Lotus. Blood Grenade, he's got to do it. The charge is coming. Time lapse back into the middle. He goes down in health. That's not what you want. Katomi, get a burn here to the Jakiro, is on the other side of the fight. They find Duraccio. He's trying to armlet toggle, but he's 1 second to the Phantasm, and he can't get it. Big win here for Entity in the mid lane, as they're not done. Now looking for Ace on this Broodmother. They don't have the catch, but it will open up the mid lane if they want. Now they'll respect the Pango.
We're talking about restricting the map, but I think they tried to split themselves up too much, because as part of playing aggressively on the enemy side, you're close to their tower, so they can TP in, which is sort of what we see here. Pango's roll got countered. That got interrupted like 3 separate times. I'm sure he's annoyed about that. But a really good play from Entity to make sure they get that Pango, and then once that Pango's out of the fight, they just chase whoever they can find, which they got the Weaver, and then I think they got some damage in on the tier 1. They actually got pushed off of it in the end. But yeah, Gaming Gladiators just splitting up a little bit too much there.
Yeah,
CK being the big kill there, and actually another Pango kill.
Yeah, I think Quinn's having a very rough game, but he is playing with 2 very farm-heavy cores, right? So him being the lowest net worth core on his team isn't really the worst thing, but he needs to start tanking up so that he can be kind of this frontliner that gets saved and gets bailed out by this like pipe and this mech that comes out from the Brood. You might have to invest into an early roll-up, because I don't know how else he's going to be able to get his ult off unless he's, you know, just suddenly has like 6,000 more net worth.
Yeah, Ace's Broodmother is usually, like, you can kind of think of it as a mid-hero, really, the way he plays and the way they, like, let him farm up. But he is building a lot of auras this game, which does make me a little bit concerned, like the fact that Pango and Chaos Knight, like, Pango's doing a little bit more utility, but then Chaos Knight's getting killed, so he's not building a huge lead. Then, you know, I don't know. There might be a point where you just drop off in damage, especially like Darktyr's building all the auras. You got this Warcry giving you extra armor. Maybe you're copying a CK illusion too, charging through all of them, right? You have a decent amount of AoE, so I don't think you can afford to really make those type of mistakes too much this game.
This is a really sick Roche. Roche for the Radiant tier 2 bottom, if they even finish off the tower, is fantastic here for Entity, because looking at Gaming Gladiator's items, like, they want to fight right now. They go for a really early Blink Dagger on the Chaos Knight. You don't typically see this, but this clearly indicates like Gaming Gladiators want to try and just run down the side of Entity with these heroes. So Age is going to make that a little bit more difficult. They'll put it on no one Snapfire, which I think is the best of their options just because of how good of a game he's already having, right? And if the Chaos Knight finds him, it is going to be a off the blink Phantasm, and that would just be an easy kill.
Dire's top tower is under
I agree with that.
scanning.
I also think Morphling's pretty survivable, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's gonna wait and choose the best time to go in.
Dire's middle
And
tower
actually Darktyr's kind of going to do something similar because he wants a good vac wall. So it's kind of going to be like Spirit Breaker, Sven, and Snapfire who start
walk in.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not making it. The supports might be making a case. You know, kind of was like, look, I charge in. I'm at the most risk.
There's a sick smoke. They get the Aegis. The team needs to get here really fast. South Mount, the Ice Path is already down. They pull him back. Rolling Thunder in as well from Quinn. They've got no one. In comes Fishman with the God Strike, but it's not enough. But it's Watson's turn to get active here on the Morphling, trying to just do what damage he can, but no one's dying on the side of Gaming Gladiators. The only thing that's hurting them is their own illusions. They rip through Entity. The amplified damage on Quinn doing so much work here.
Radiant's
And
middle
now
tower
Watson
is under
needs to be
attack.
very careful. The Orchid is out. They've caught him. The Chaos Bolt, the damage starting to stack up. Can he get the waveform to the low ground? He does. But he's got no TP for 20 seconds, and you cannot escape this Chaos Knight. 4 heroes dead. Your mid-tier 2 tower falls. And they are absolutely thrilled with that engagement.
All Chaos Knight. Yeah, Snapfire being found was... So I know I said she's like part of starting fights, but she's behind the Sven and the Spirit Breaker in the ideal fight formation.
Yes.
So the fact that she got killed first and Entity tried to rotate in, yeah, we're going to see in the replay here. So as she respawns, they all set in. The wall and the Sven stun, it's all really good, but that's where the pipe and the Greaves come in. Pretty much you don't have enough damage without the Snapfire to get past those 2 items from Ace, and like while you're trying to do that, 3 of you have died, so now you're just in full retreat mode.
Has fallen.
Yeah, I think
Really nice find.
The biggest thing there is, like, this is the Blink Dagger from Chaos Knight paying off, like, instantly. Like,
That's true.
without
yeah.
that, you don't find that Snapfire kill, because there is no other Blink initiator, right? They smoke into the high ground there, and they find the best hero, like you were talking about, but it's the Blink Chaos Bolt that comes out that just completely crushes him.
Is under attack.
They were actually heading over on Entity at the time to go for Tormentor. So this whole thing starts going for the Tormentor. They lose the fight, and then this Tormentor now getting stolen. There's a good Ice Path. The Mortimer Kiss is zoning them out, but again, the Guardian Greaves in the pipe. A full disengage out from Gaming Gladiators is now, well, maybe Duraccio needs to be a little bit careful. If they get out, clean here is really good, but Katomi not gonna let him. Just gets bash after bash. A nice amount of damage being dropped in. The Macropyre's down, but Duraccio trying to burn against the Armor Toggle. Is it enough? He gets back into the fight, turns on DM, the vacuum pulls him back in, but there's no follow-up. They find Celery onto the downside, and yeah, Celery, he dies, but the big kill was Duraccio, and you don't get it.
Very nice armlet toggles from Duraccio there. They wanted the Chaos Knight so badly, so they were chasing, but it meant the backline started to get exposed. Like Entity was kind of in a straight line for how they were chasing. So Gaming Gladiators, they just get to like pick where they join in that fight, and then the really sick arm. Like if you get the Chaos Knight, then that's probably a fine fight. But really nice armlet toggles from Duraccio to stay alive there, and you don't even care that Celery died. You're like, thank you for doing your duty, position 5.
Dude, his ice path literally saved Duraccio. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it was
like
so good.
he did his job.
A golden plate.
Well, an 8,000 gold lead now for Gaming Gladiators as they are really starting to find their momentum in this game. Spirit Breaker gonna charge
that changed
away
so
there.
fast. I thought the Aegis steal, I thought that was really good. And I mean, it was. And it was supposed to buy them time because Gaming Gladiators wouldn't feel great about pushing high ground without the Aegis, wouldn't feel great about forcing tier 2s too heavily. But finding the Snapfire so quickly and winning that fight, well, they're kind of like right back to where they were. It's like, oh, now you don't have Aegis. Now we do feel comfortable pushing these tier 2s really aggressively. Also, you're all dead because we won that fight, so we're not even scared about it anyways. And the game suddenly went from being really even to a 10k lead for Gaming Gladiators. That was over the course of like the last 5 minutes.
You know, I was talking about Quinn really desperately needing roll up this game. Well, because they take the enemy Tormentor and then their own, he gets his shard for free. So now Quinn way more survivable on this Pangolier, not punished going for this like Harpoon Aghanim Scepter, right? Like that is like best case scenario. Of all the heroes that could have gotten their shard, this is literally the best one. So they are really happy about that.
Weaver's a little sad. He's like, I would have loved to farm a little faster. That's cool. I guess you can live mid laner, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Lincoln's now done. Dude, I mean, Ace is so farmed this game.
That's like the
Fufu's
standard,
gonna find
though.
the courier, and he might just use this as vision, thinking that they are top. And he is right, but maybe not knowing that he is all the way in the corner of the map. It's gonna be a really long journey. Duraccio will follow this courier forever.
Let's just debate. Just turn the courier around right now.
Dude, that's actually so funny. No way. Who courier micros like this?
Good micro from Ace, not only being farmed, but if you take a look at his spiders scattered across the map, they have really good vision right now. They have all the tier 2s. So the next objective is technically the high ground, but we're talked about it. Even with this 10k lead, you still don't really want to go up there without the Aegis, right? 9k feels good, but it's not game secured. So they're just kind of holding the map, using the spiders, using their wards to try to restrict Entity, being much better about not splitting up this time as well. And that's why you see Fishman doing things like this, just like making his way to the enemy's half of the map, just trying to jungle, just trying to get what he can. And I don't think Entity's going to be able to contest this Roche coming up. That's kind of what Gaming Gladiator's waiting for, seeing if they can get any kills in the meantime. But I think you're just going to end up having to wait for the high ground and defend around that, which you have some good heroes for. So Entity's going to have a good shot then. But it will be into the Aegis, and let me see the timing. Depending when it spawns, I mean, that might be the banner as well. Well, I guess you got Sapphire, so
Radiant
might not be
Quinn's
that
coming
big of a
top.
deal.
They know DM is up here. The question is, if they find him, he's gonna walk into the Watcher. So they see him now. Rolling Thunder,
Instant
just
roll.
instantly thrown. He's gonna follow the path, right? Like they know he's here. That's kind of one of those moments of the shard kind of betraying you at the moment, but Quinn will eventually find DM with the help here of Tofu. He's gonna pop those greaves, try and keep himself alive, but the swashbuckle damage, too damn much. And this will be double Wisdom Rune. Dyrachyo already set up to steal it.
Dire's middle tower is
Making
under
another
attack.
difference here. They're going to find Watson on the bottom side of the map here. Swashbuckles on through Quinn. He's got some help, though, from the Weaver. He's starting to fall a little bit low as that Vessel is already committed. The charge, though, from Katomi onto this Weaver. Does he get the bash? He gets the time lapse off.
Radiant's top
In
tower
comes Ace. No one forced to BKB. He should make it out. No, the Yules! It comes through. Watson's got nowhere to go. The Ice Path is out. The Macropie there. They actually managed to dodge it, though, with the waveform, and they really want this Morphling. Tofu somehow surviving through all of this. They just clean up big again.
I didn't think they would be able to kill the Morphling since they just used roll, but they actually have so much mobility that that's usually Morphling's way to do it, right? Morph strength, waveform away, you can't keep up with him, but they actually just follow along with max move speed or swashbuckles, chase him down. It takes forever for his team to get there. Ace cuts him off, and with those kills, even though you don't have Aegis, you feel fine coming up to poke the high ground. You're gonna force the glyph out. You might back off soon since I think some of your stuff's... Oh no, rolls back up. Right, it wasn't even used.
Oh, doesn't look like they're backing up for now as Dyrachyo goes in. Takes a decent chunk of damage here, and because of that, the tier 3 tower actually lives. So you're gonna back up, give respect to the side of Entity. Dying on the high ground here is pretty much the worst thing that you could do on Gaming Gladiators as Roshan just now respawns. We'll be on Dire's side, but it will move bottom here in just a moment. So likely gonna see Roche set up on the Radiant side. Unless they're beelining it for Roche top, but there's no way. It's too late now.
Yeah, you'd have to interrupt it the entire time, which I guess if you got some really lucky bashes,
Radiant's
maybe,
bottom tower
but
is under attack.
Just buys 2 moon shards somehow.
that'd be sick. That'd be an awesome Reddit clip. But nah, he's gonna make his way down here. I think this banner could actually work out really well for them. So
Agreed.
it just changed. They're gonna have to do this fast because Snapfire can destroy the banner, but you can place the banner further back because of how long range the catapult is to make it really difficult for Snapfire to get to. But you have to do this really quickly because the catapults just spawned, so they are moving out right now.
Top lane, Katomi gonna get found here by Dyrachyo. Hits him. Oh my goodness, he gets the
Bulldoze.
Shadow Blade off, and Bulldoze keeps him alive. I mean, he tried to get the burst with that Soul Burn, it's just not enough.
I think that was the tail end of Bulldoze. He popped Bulldoze to help clear out the wave, get that extra move speed for the bashes, but I think
Dire's
Dyrachyo just went
middle
like
tower is
a
under
moment too soon, and I think Bulldoze status resistance was still up.
All right, well, we're going to see the Butterfly picked up here on the Morphling. A pretty aggressive build. It does do very well against things like the Broodmother and the Chaos Knight. He just needs to make sure he has his Manta for the Bloodthorn. That's like the big thing he has to avoid. But overall, it gives Watson a huge boost in damage. See if they can actually stomp the high ground push, though, as they are getting ready to take down the tier 3 tower. The illusions here from the Chaos Knight doing their best, but no one clears them up. Cutting the mid wave. Oh, Tofu's found Watson. Bugs are out. He's going to try to waveform away. The TPs are coming. Everybody wants to find this. There's the Yules. Ice Path. He's so dead. What a good read by Tofu, man. He has been on it so far this game. And an immediate smoke back to the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's got Yules and Atos, so once he finds the Morphling, it's really difficult to actually get a TP off, right? And you only get one try because one of the TP's canceled. I mean, that's on cooldown forever. So he has to try to just run away from the Weaver, but that leaves tons of time for everyone to TP in, and eventually you just commit the Yules and the Atos to let the others connect. So very, very nice, just letting Tofu be the one looking in the back. If he doesn't find anything, then it's fine. The rest of the team will just stay out on the map.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
All right,
That Morphling
14
kill,
seconds.
they're going to go straight high ground. And it looks like they're not going for anything crazy. They're just taking racks. They're not worried about like doing any cute glyph skipping stuff.
There's the spiders. I was like, where's all of Ace? Okay, they're going to get the melee barracks. This will give them a second fortification
under attack.
as the Morphling respawns. This is, again, it's just slow and steady here for Gaming Gladiators. They still have, 2 minutes 45 seconds on this Aegis. You just picked up a BKB on your Chaos Knight as well, so you're feeling even stronger.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still got the banner too. You didn't even need it to break the high ground, so you can just use it for the next set. And now it's kind of scary. If you lose a fight in your base at this point, and there's enough spiders, they could potentially go straight for the end. They do have one more fortify at least though, but that's why you gotta be like really careful of using it here, because if you use it for a tier 3 and then lose a fight, that could be a Broodmother going for the base.
I was going to ask if Broodmother is transitioning at all into the core, but I just see the Eye of Scotty completed. So Lincoln's and Scotty now done. These are those like items that Universal Heroes just get so much incredible value out of, and he also gets the Defiant Shell. So this guy is statted up. He is so big.
I'd love to see him get a shard next.
Yeah, that's what I was
Scotty,
going to say.
like,
I feel like that's just the next progression, right? Just get Insatiable Hunger Shard.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, he can
is
just
under
directly fight the Morphling at that point. Like, that's why he got the Scotty this game, is because it's so good versus Morphling, as well as being a stat item. But there's other, like, stat items you could choose, so that's why he... But this particular game is choosing the Scotty.
They found Watson. They also found Fishman. The thing is Watson, he can't really go anywhere. His TP's been canceled. Fishman can't leave.
Oh,
The Broodmother
Fishman
has just held him in place. Big Ice Path Macro Fire out from Celery. The 4 staffs are through. You've lost 2. The buybacks are ready. No one's forced to BKB. They're going to turn around here off the double buyback, but can they actually find anything charging from Katomi? Ice Path there to block him off as Duraccio. Now just going to get aggressive again on the CK. They'll just turn their attention onto the lanes of Barracks. They lose nothing on Gaming Gladiators. You still have the Aegis, and you force a double buyback out of Entity.
Such a big economic win. At this point, the carry difference is 10,000 gold. So much. They can take it slow here. They have 30 seconds left on Aegis. They can maybe try one more push while there's no vac wall, but at the same time, I think you're pretty happy with what you got out of this very... I was going to say first Aegis, because that first one was gone so fast. The second Aegis, I suppose.
Fishman, you are kind of alone here, my guy. His team not that far behind, but Mortimer Kiss is actually trying to catch the backline, do a little bit of damage here to Duraccio. They know this Aegis is expiring in 8 seconds. If they can find him, he's got no BKB. This is as good as a chance you're gonna get. But Quinn, really good rolling thunder onto the backline, disrupting everything. The Bloodthorn's caught the Snapfire. The Ice Path again is there, and Duraccio's gonna beat him down. He's gonna buy back, but they've caught Morphling. Quinn just disrupting everything. The Ice Path following up, catching Katomi here. There is just so much disable that you're fighting into on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and the GG comes out. They will take game number 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Once you get caught out there, they were going for that Chaos Knight again, but with the armlet toggling, plus just being such a tanky hero, they end up chasing farther than they...
That's the long-term goal, of course, of adding these, similar to what talents were back in the day. So I am all for Entity experimenting with this facet and seeing if there is a scenario where it is better than Chronosphere. We're going to find out. I think most people have ruled this facet as unpickable, but here we are. It is Entity in game number 2 of these upper brackets, and they've got a 4-position Faceless Void with the time zone. And I'm excited, man. Like, that's all I care about. Like, this is cool.
I'm so excited for it. I'm ready.
I will say
for this.
offlane Phoenix is gonna slap. This is
Yeah,
interesting.
I think it's really... I think it could actually be really good versus the Chaos Knight. Famous last words, but I think it could be really good. The first couple
Zero
levels
armor
might be
hero
rough.
Chaos Knight.
It could be rough to start, especially the Faceless Void, right? That's the big question mark. But Phoenix is potentially like a strong enough offlaner in the right matchups that all you need to do is like block camps, be annoying, occasionally throw. I assume you take time dilation still. Can't say I've seen much Faceless support.
The thing that's
as long as you get one
interesting-
bounty rune, they're in.
So much better.
They're
They got one bounty rune. An absolute infinitely better start than game number 1. So here's the thing. The Faceless Void support, if it was against anything that wasn't a Jakiro, I feel like it would be really good in lane. Because he actually has pretty damn good base stats. But a Jakiro is like considered probably one of the worst matchups you could have as a 4 Phases Void.
Yeah, it is pretty. The damage over time is annoying. But I suppose, I mean, you're not going to care as much, right? Your support, you're going to buy a bunch more regen than like a carry. And, you know, maybe you'll stand in Sunray if that ever gets used by Phoenix. You know, you get a little bit of healing. Nah, see, he knows. He's like, this, man, I'm a garbage laner. Better start creep tracking.
Yeah, like, the first few levels are not going to be easy. You need to get, like, to the level 2 Fire Spirits, and once you have that, you can very easily harass this Chaos Knight, because the way he sustains lane is just auto-attacking, right? And you're just massively reducing the amount of auto-attacks he's going to get off in the lane. So I think for the most part, the lane should end up being okay as long as he doesn't get caught out with Fire Spirits on cooldown. If Fire Spirits are on cooldown, he gets Reality Strike, or he gets, like, Reality Rifted into Chaos Bolt. He probably dies.
I want to highlight something real quick that's not important to the lanes at all, but Beastmaster stood by like the right side where you can get to that side ancient camp. He like stood over there to see if they were coming in to block his camps, and then Tofu actually sent his courier down that side as well, just to double check the camp to make sure they don't waste any time, like sending a boar over, one of them walks over and that camp is blocked, you know, to like buy that sentry early. That's like a really cool micro play, but massively sets up the Beastmaster potentially, right? Because it's what we see. Like, if you don't have a strong lane, you go stack. If you have a strong lane, you go stack, and you get even bigger. So just this little micro trick, really cool from both of them to make sure like Beastmaster's going to have a good game. And it's part of why Ace, we talk about him, he's such a consistent offlaner. It's tricks like these from the team that make sure he gets the game he needs.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that we have seen just be like a staple of the Beastmasters, like the good Beastmasters, right? No matter how bad your lane is, you get to like a sub 15-minute Aghanim Scepter on this hero. Like there's almost no scenario where that happens unless like a team overcommits to shutting down the Beastmaster, but then you're probably losing your other lanes. So
yeah, which is why I thought that was why they picked that last Beastmaster. You see this carry Faceless Void, you know, you're gonna blink, roar, and assassinate him, which is what Beastmaster has sort of evolved into compared to the old like tempo aura things going on. I guess that actually is still very true against the Terrorblade carry.
Yeah.
And it might actually be better because Beastmaster is actually really good versus illusion heroes.
Man, I just I am intrigued with what Entity are gonna be able to get done in the mid game here, because GAIMIN Gladiators draft is they get the stun. Faceless Void already. He is so dead. That is first blood for the Jakiro. And just like, I mean, that's just the timing on the level 3 and bottom lane. Fishman's just gonna get dove by Ace. The turnaround from Watson onto Tofu, no Sakuchi, but he gets saved. The constant hawks onto Watson, and now Ace is just gonna continue the dive. Tofu with another jump here under the tower. Oh no, the side lanes are crumbling. Entity's gonna lose the Phoenix as well. Oh man, Quinn actually might get Chaser from the Faceless Void. Two's time dilation charges on him. Do they have he just needs one bash. Not gonna get it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wow, that
level 3s, dude.
That devolved really quickly, man. That was looking okay for both sides. Suddenly death's all over the place, and now actually Tofu comes over mid. He had a salve, didn't even have to go home. Now it looks like no one's dead.
Yeah. He denied the water rune though. Thank you. Yes. Very pog. Okay, you are up to a 2,000 lead already for GAIMIN Gladiators.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, you just keep doing the same. You don't need to feel pressure to end early. I do think like Beastmaster's doing fine. He's going to get Ags, Blink, and he's going to kill anyone actually, but like Watson especially, right? Terrorblade is a low health hero. Like, you're going to get this Ags, and you're just going to Blink Roar him, and he's going to die before he can even Sunder. So, I mean, you just maintain. You don't even have to push a bigger lead. Like, I think you're already going to hit 6 first. You're going to get your ag at a good timing. So you just need to not throw, really. But, of course, as you see plays available to you, you will try to grow a bigger lead. But this is already
I'm
a good
actually
start.
100% agree. I 100% agree. This is one of those scenarios where it's like you are doing really well in lanes and you have this mid-game timing. Top lane, they're going to go for a nice dive here onto the safe lanes, but Tofu comes in. The Ice Path just catches both of the supports, and Crystal Maiden will go down first. They do manage to find a trade onto the Jakiros. Tofu now chasing DM. He's not going to have the damage finished off. The double bracer is making him a little bit too tanky, and Ace solo kills the Terrorblade under his tower. Oh boy. I mean, he's a magic damage hero this early into the game, right? That is the one thing Terrorblade cannot deal with. As a bottle refill comes in mid for no one.
Man, that's true. That's so weird. Beastmaster's identity is like it's so different from where he used to be. He's a magic damage hero with axes now, not a like summons aura physical amplifier. It's really weird, but it's true. And that's why this Terrorblade pick is a little strange. It is good versus Chaos Knight, but into the Beastmaster is rough.
Mortimer kisses top lane. Very good rotation. And a dive in from DM just to give a little bit of a slow. Now looking for Celery. No, like a lot of times on like a Phoenix or something, you'd want an Urn, but this is an offlane Phoenix, so the build is a little bit odd. Gonna get chased up here as Quinn rotates to the top side of the map. In comes Katomi, hits him with time dilation, but the Phoenix so damn low, sitting on 20 HP, burning to the Urn. They get the kill. Tofu gets it. Oh, the last tick of the Urn. And I noticed something. Terrorblade's in the fountain.
Like he's done, or like, oh no, just respawning. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think he got roared based on the fact that Beastmaster's ult is on cooldown. So you did say he's going to get roar and kill the hero. Yeah. And that is, I think,
Ace
exactly what happened.
Things.
Dude, he is 4,100 net worth.
Beastmaster
is under attack.
He's so far.
So here's my question. They banned out Enchantress, Chen, very understandable. Celery, amazing player, both of those. And I feel like the idea is like, oh, you don't want them to have a strong safe lane. But then like Jakiro's still in the pool, and then like you don't pick the strongest offlane heroes. So like even though they're getting like, oh, maybe this is my second choice instead of like my Chen Enchantress super strong supports, I'm getting like another pick. But then you're not even trying to like punish that final pick. So at that point, like, I would rather ban out Ace's heroes.
You got an amplify damage on no one, but the coil just holds him down, and Ace is like, yeah, I got another roar available, throws it out. They need to get a little bit more damage to Katomi, but looks like he's going to make it out. There was also a little bit of a panic egg in the top side of the map, so your Phoenix no longer having egg. Mid tower taking a beating already.
Getting these kills on no one is really good too, because he was the one laner who was doing pretty well, which he's still kind of close to the puck, but now he's lost his mid tower, and now all 3 cores are at the top for GAIMIN Gladiators. And once again, the side lanes.
They need this kill onto Ace so badly. He's getting low, but the damage is not there. He's so damn tanky. Oh man, this hurts so much. Is behind the tower. Watson does get found by Tofu, and they do bring the numbers, but Duraccio is here as well. He actually needs to be a little bit careful. As the dive in from the feet. Dude, they actually just are so afraid. An ice pack. Dude, Celery just solos Watson. No way. Quinn comes in with the coil, catches DM. No egg available for 20. They are crumbling on Entity.
Man, I don't even know what to say. They're playing so well. They're rotating. They got the spells, and like they've already got the lead, right? So like, let's say Terrorblade has level 6, then he's got Sunder. Maybe he's swapping, getting a kill, but he's behind from the laning stage. They're pushing the tempo. Still doesn't have it. So Celery gets to just Ice Path Macro Pyre. Or actually, it wasn't even the Macro Pyre at that point. Ice Path Dual Breath got the kill, getting him Macro Pyre to then use for another kill after that. Gaming Gladiators, this is when they look good, right? They just come out of the lanes well, and they just start playing as a team. And where's that Ags? It's 1,000 gold away, man.
Yeah, he's gonna have it at, like,
so scary.
12
He's
minute
already
Ags.
scary, but like he's gonna be even scarier.
Yeah, I honestly am not sure what you can do at this point, right? Like, the teamfight wombo combo, which is normally like Faceless Voids Chrono into like Egg and Mortimer Kisses, doesn't exist. Like, you have Time Zone. So, who on your team can take advantage of the Time Zone right now when all 3 of your lanes have been such a disaster?
I forgot about Time Zone, dude. We have this is where I think you'd wish you had just Chronosphere, I think. Even on support. Like, I think if you're gonna take Time Zone, then it makes sense for support Faceless. But I really think you need to add a buff to Time Dilation in Time Zone. You can't add it to the base skill because then carry Faceless with Chrono just becomes too strong. But like, the laning is too bad to even get to the point of Time Zone.
Oh, DM gets a free pick here onto Celery. He's gonna burn down. Okay. A little bit of kills going their way. I mean, they're just... the thing is, they're farming so aggressively. And the only thing you're getting out of this is a support, you know, Jakiro.
Yeah. He is working on the Veil into Shivas for DM, and that's actually going to be really good this game. So maybe... I mean, that's the next question mark, right? So the lanes aren't going well, but maybe all of us are going to get caught off guard by Core Phoenix and Time Zone Faceless Void, right? Like, I have to assume they practiced it, they tried it, so they're going to understand this more than I imagine any of us. So maybe they expected the lanes to go like this, and, you know, the timing is coming. He's got Veil, he's got Egg, you know, maybe he can do something. Puck, probably not the guy.
I saw the Faceless Void going the Boots of Bearing. Is there anyone on Gaming Gladiators going at Boots of 12? I said 12.5 minute Ags. There it is. Hold on, the Time Zone, the Root, Phoenix, Egg, Quinn trying to get away up onto the high ground. He makes it, able to dodge out enough of the damage, and he lives, and he has a regen of all runes. Oh, that hurts.
Let's look at the positives, ignoring the fact that Puck did, in fact, just illusory orb out of Time Zone. When he was in Time Zone and illusory orb was slow, it was moving out there, boy, Puck was slow. Puck was sure getting whacked in that time.
He did indeed get whacked. That is true.
He did be slow.
So here you are, Ace with a 12.5 minute Aghanim Scepter on the Beastmaster. Just gonna go straight BKB. Duraccio, I'm sure, gonna go very similar build as we saw last game. Yeah, the Orchid, about, I don't know, a little over 1,000 gold away.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
This'll play good.
Actually, just going BKB. I forgot about that. Yeah, just gonna go BKB on Beastmaster, because actually he doesn't really need to like blink pick off. He can actually just walk at towers. Yeah, and he's coming. Guys, the game's too early. You forgot. Coming for Roche, going top. They're like, oh wait, I'm way farmed, way more than usual. It's actually still bottom. Head down here.
We're gonna see a fight break out.
He's gonna find Watson. Oh no.
Well, that's a rough one.
Watson was like half health because of the facet costing HP, but one roar kills him. That is unfortunate. I mean, that's a free Roche.
It's a free Roche plus another kill. You do end up getting the Wisdom Rune, I guess, on DM, but
heck yeah.
They also just took it on the other side for Duraccio, so you're not even really up a kill.
Heck no.
Or up the XP. All right, so Beastmaster doing the
just
classic.
got used on DM.
Wait, what?
Oh, okay, never mind. He's quick TP out. He dove, I thought, coming from like the Lotus. They immediately looked for him, but TP'd out instantly. My bad, I baited everyone.
So the classic Beastmaster basically soloing Roshan because of Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, a little bit of help from Jakir, obviously, but
I got baited again. Ace is going back for Blink.
okay. Well, he just does whatever he wants with Aegis now. He just feels like he can.
That's true. You don't need BKB to stay alive if you've got the second life. Also, I think he like roared Watson, insta-killed him, and he was like, man, that was hilarious. If I get a blink, I can do that again a lot easier. Just gonna go grab one of those real quick.
The thing with Entity's draft is, like, I can see the idea with the time zone here. If you're on even footing, then Entity's draft actually works really well with it. But you are so far behind. Your lanes were an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll go to bat for this team here because I know a lot of people are looking at this and like, obviously it was terrible. And, you know, we kind of thought it was, like, kind of questionable a little bit as well. But I like the creativity. And they got to this point playing their own unique style and their unique picks. And I really like that they lost game one and they didn't chicken out. And they were like, oh, we got to just pick meta things. We got to copy what the other teams are doing. They're sticking to their guns. It's maybe not working right here, but... you know, you keep trying it, and that's how you reach the point where Falcons, right, top team, they're picking whatever they like, and they're at the top. So it looks a little silly now that they're losing and getting, like, slapped around right now. But if they keep working on it and they reach a point where they start getting to win with, like, their unique style, then everyone's going to be copying them, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, time zone faceless was broken, right? Like, you get to rewrite history once you win.
It's the thing is, in a game... in this patch is it really only takes one big fight, and they do have the wombo combos on Entity. Like, if you actually find the openings, the time zone is there, the puck's gone. Oh, the root! Hold on, they actually managed to catch Quinn inside of it. The jump in from DM, they got him. Mortimer Kiss is out as well. Okay, you get a kill, but now you gotta get out. Oh no, the egg, is it enough? They just dive ace out with this. Age is still fairly tanky. Time dilation stacked up, doing a lot of work, but ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. It doesn't feel like enough for Entity. Like, you really need to get more than just that off of this time zone egg combo.
Yeah, Puck, I mean, it's a mid kill, pretty good, but Quinn actually happens to be the poorest of the cores, so you definitely would have preferred one of them. But I mean, I guess you're not really killing Beastmaster twice, are you? And then Chaos Knight, man, he's armlet toggled the hell out of you, so maybe you do just feel required to go for Quinn. Yeah, we see the time dilation, go to the time zone, so actually, Puck usually would have been able to get out of here with the Illusory Orb Brute doesn't work, but he would have usually been able to W out of here. But yeah, time dilation just delaying that cooldown, so it does get the kill. Support faces Void, doing it right there.
Meanwhile, on live, Dyrachyo finds a solo kill onto DM, which we knew as soon as that Orchid comes out, it was going to be scary. They are smoked up, and they're just going to try and take the fight. Finding Dyrachyo here would be massive. Well, let's see if they can. There's no Phantasm Freezing Field, but a really nice Ice Path and Macro Pyre. Dyrachyo picked off, though, as they've brought the numbers. That's a big gold bounty going to Watson, as the rest of them looks like they are just going to make it out. Well, I say that for now. They've got a ward actually scouting no one. There's going to be a Sunder out. Celery will take down no one. Finishes the job here on the Snapfire's Tofu, trying to chase it.
Blink Roar.
There it is, the Blink Roar. You called it.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of damage. Wait a minute. They're back in. Time zone. Here goes Terrorblade. Just going to get to work. Puck comes in. Can they actually finish the job? No. He's too afraid to fight. Ace stands his ground. He still has Aegis.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, no.
Okay, when Valve looks at this game and buffs time zone, Entity's going to be awesome. They ran it first. They're going to be so ready for what time zone's good. I don't know, like, you're right. If they weren't 10k behind, this would look cool. Because you're going to buff up every single illusion. Everyone's going to be slowly running away. Time zone would also protect egg. It just doesn't work when you're behind. Like, you just get to run at heroes like this. They're going to force egg. But
what a phase shift dodge.
Yeah, both supports are actually really good versus egg. And then Puck actually builds a lot of attack speed nowadays.
They find Snapfire onto the high ground, a great dive. Watson is here, does get caught from the Orchid. Oh, Manta dodges the coil snap even. Very fancy. But, yeah, continue your point. Sorry.
You got to be ahead to make this stuff look good. Endpoint.
All right, I think you're right. We're gonna this game.
That was your point. I stole it.
No, it's all right. I think you're right. Whereas like time zone has just been getting slowly buffed, and as with everything in Dota, there is a tipping point, right, where you're gonna be like, this ability is kind of bad, and then just one final thing, and then time zone faces void is gonna be like every game. So
yeah, it's like Sand King, right? Sand King literally didn't change from the start of this tournament to the end, and suddenly Sand King's in like the top contested. That's just how Dota goes, and people who have like way too strong of opinions on Dota are just missing out. You have to stay open-minded because no one can explore this game completely, but sometimes you think you've got something and it's just not quite good enough. It comes into something you hadn't considered, such as Aces, Beastmaster, and Brood just slapping the lanes around.
They commit Mortimer Kisses, the dive in. Duraccio managed to get on top of DM. There's no egg, but he's got nothing. They need to actually protect the Chaos Knight here. Time Zone is down. Great Macro Pyre as well as the Freezing Field, though, to turn it around, but in comes Tofu. They need to get more here. DM barely TPs out as the Roar will take down Katomi. I mean, both supports for the Chaos Knight is not bad. If you had the egg, that would have been a very different fight. Quinn goes in, threatens here onto the Snapfire. Gleipnir just barely off the mark.
I mean, you definitely take that. At the same time, GAIMIN Gladiators isn't going to feel too worried. Right now, they're just holding the map. They're slowly working on like the towers, especially this tier 2. Aegis is about a minute from possibly respawning. You're just going to wait for that, grab that, and then you can look to take another big fight, end the game. With the vision they have, I'm sure they'll just wait for a pickoff rather than forcing a huge fight into like the egg, Mortimer's Kisses, time zone, you know, all that. They'll find a pick first before going up.
I wonder if like one of the buffs that they could do to time zone is make it so that your movement speed is a fixed number, because I think there are a lot of ways to kind of
drum boots.
Yeah, like, for instance, like, you get bongo boots and your whole team is just hasted and you walk out of time zone, right? Which seems like kind of insane that that's just something you can do. But if it sets you to a fixed movement speed and applies that kind of leash, I think we could see something like that end up being a like viable support option. Maybe the ability is much better than we're giving it credit. It's just, you know, with how bad the lanes went, it's really hard to judge. Bottom lane, DM's gonna get found by Quinn and Tofu. He really can't afford to pop the egg, so they'll just give the life there. That is a Parasma puck at 23 minutes. Roar top lane again from Ace. This guy is beyond godlike now, 10-0. There is no stopping this guy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, hot take, I think time zone as a support skill is actually fine where it's at. The issue is like getting to that point and not being super behind. When you compare it to the other really meta supports, they're all strong laners who can get active early. Jakiro, Weaver, Clockwork. We saw them ban Enchantress, Chen. Who of these heroes is Face of Void not getting absolutely dumpstered in the lane by? That is the bigger issue, in my opinion. And the problem is, like, if you buff Faceless Void to try to adjust that, then everyone's just going to play carry Faceless Void and go Chronosphere. So that's why it needs to be a buff to the facet itself, and I think they're going to need to add something to it. I mean, you could just keep buffing Time Zone like crazy, but at that point, you're going to get carry Faceless Void with Time Zone instead of support Faceless. So I think they need to make it either make time dilation, because that's why Faceless was a good support in the past, is time dilation was good. So you could either buff that, you could... I don't know if we want to make it where facets like give you better stats and stuff. That feels like cheap, but I mean it would work. But like your lane just sucks. It sucks, and that's what needs to change for time zone to be a thing.
It's like similar to the Sven support, right? Where it's like he's not really that strong of a lane. Like you pick the Sven support for the stun and the war cry. But outside of that, he doesn't really offer a ton into the lane compared to a lot of other supports. Like, here we go, the Blink, the Roar, into the Macro Pyre, Ice Path, and they burn down no one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Pick off. They could push a little. They have a creep wave here. Roche did spawn if they want to just head over. Looks like that's their plan. They're not really Doesn't really look like you're pushing while Snapfire's dead.
I mean, Faceless Void's damage dealt is not that bad considering, but it is all just time dilation.
Time dilation is good. You know, once it's maxed out, that's good. The issue is they nerfed it so that at level 1 it's not that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you said, it used to be like a 1-point wonder. It was absurdly strong for carries to even just pick up time dilation early. And so it's been nerfed to scale better with levels, but worse early on, and that's been very difficult for the Faceless Void support. Aegis and Cheese now going to be picked up. Chaos Knight with the Aegis. Cheese for the Beastmaster. As it's only a matter of time before GAIMIN Gladiators decide to end this one. Honestly, it kind of comes down to Quinn just like going in with like a Blink Coil, finding a hero. He doesn't have the Aegis, but he's still very survivable, and he has a ton of damage.
Agreed. I don't know. Got nothing to add to that.
What big items are they waiting on right now? I'm sure they need the BKB on Chaos Knight. They're going Shiva's on Ace, which he has, I think, very soon. Yeah, less than 1,000 gold away. Quinn got his Yules. Yeah, I mean they're feeling really strong.
Yeah, I mean I said
gonna be off green.
Previously I was saying like, oh, you don't want to force high ground into this stuff, but actually they're 30k ahead. That's pretty insane. It's been a long time since I've seen this big of a net worth lead at 26 minutes, 27 minutes. So maybe you can just force it and just not care about the fact that, you know, in a closer game, this is a pretty scary combo. Time dilation, time zone, I guess. You know, Egg, Mortimer's Kisses, Freezing Field, and then Terrorblade. This is usually where he excels. Like, as you try to come up his high ground, he's just standing there whacking away, but money solves all. Dota's like the real world in that case. Like, I mean, you're just rich enough to just stand there and go into it, so I think you could still just wait, hold, and look for a pickoff, which kind of seems like what they're doing since they're literally in 5 different parts of the map. They just do not care. They're not worried about being picked off. There's no vision from the side of Entity to like even try to make a play around this. They have no idea that GAIMIN's just like all over the place.
Daracho just jumps up here to look for this Wisdom Rune, and the thing is, they have no idea where the rest of GAIMIN Gladiators is.
You can't do it.
They're like, is he alone? Like, can he get away with doing this? And the answer is yes. So they will just take the Wisdom Rune.
This is where, funny enough, like, the pub gameplay might work better, where you're like, you don't have the vision, but you're like, yeah, just go get this guy. And it actually turns out to work, because that guy's alone. But here, they're like, oh, we don't have vision. GAIMIN Glad is just, they're going to be all behind Daracho. He wouldn't blink in if he didn't have his team with him. It's like, oh, no, actually, he was just there alone. You should have just gone. That was one of your chances.
Question is, will you find anything? The roar comes out. Ace just gets right on top of the Faceless Void, and he's dead. He does have a buyback. They've caught Quinn onto the backside. A nice dive in. There's going to be the egg, but where's your time zone? The team's already gone. GAIMIN Gladiators have backed out. They need to kill Ace, but he's got a cheese ready, and there is time zone, but where's the follow-up? You need more damage. Gleipnir's out. Can you get Ace? They do. Celery in trouble as well. The burn is there. No one with the BKB protecting him, but they've got on top of Watson. He needs to sunder something, and fast. Who's it gonna be? They're just chasing him into the trees. I don't know what happened. He didn't get a good sunder. The vessel was there. They just turn it around. And GAIMIN Gladiators likely to end this one.
I think he sundered Faceless or an Illusion. I missed the exact target, but either way, after he sundered, couldn't kill the target. Yeah, that was 2 support buybacks. Even if he had another set of buybacks, still don't think he can defend this. It's now 33k lead for GAIMIN Gladiators.
And time zone is on cooldown for another minute.
Yeah, I mean, they may not end at this particular push, but they're probably taking at least 2 sets of barracks, if not more. And I don't know how you come back. GAIMIN Gladiators just needs to resist the call of the fountain. I mean, that's it.
Everyone's favorite call. Ooh, looking for Duracio's
Duraccio?
Aegis. Gleipnir's there. Dude, the armlet toggles from him in this game have been so on point. The fact that he armlet toggles through time dilation and Manta's off like the Phoenix damage right before as well. I mean, that's just so sick.
He's getting the most out of this Aegis. He might be able to bait something.
Radiant's bottom
He's got
tower
20 seconds
is
of
under
Aegis
attack.
left, so now's the time to
Quinn
die.
just doesn't care. Forces the jump onto the backside. They're going to go in on top of the Crystal Maiden. The turnaround, though, can they get this? Weaver with the time lapse. They get the Aegis. Ace looking for his opportunity to enter the fight. They have... Ooh, he just baits the BKB. Oh, man, and Quinn gets a 3-hero silence onto the backside. They've got to do something to time walk into the silence. No! The egg is down. Can they kill it? They can. Freezing Field is there, but a macro fire right on top of it all. The GG is out, and GAIMIN Gladiators grab the 2-0.
A very convincing performance from GAIMIN Gladiators. Game 1 was, much